For this question, a particle moves in a straight line. As such, its displacement is given by s equals to 50 exponential of negative 2t minus exponential of negative 4t. So now you have to look for the time when the particle is instantaneously at rest. So the keyword at rest actually tells you that velocity is equivalent to 0. Hence, your first step to solve part A will be find the expression for velocity. So velocity equals to differentiate displacement equation with respect to t. So 50, the constant, we keep it outside the bracket. Exponential of negative 2t, okay, multiply with negative 2, the derivative of negative 2t, minus exponential of negative 4t multiply with negative 4. Hence, simplifying this will give you an expression such as negative 2 exponential of negative 2t. Negative and negative gives you a positive 4 exponential of negative 4t. Okay? And that it equals to 0 to solve and find t value. Moving forward, okay, bring the 50 over the other side, it will give you 0. Hence, you're left with an equation where you have negative 2 exponential of negative 2t plus with 4 exponential of negative 4t equivalent to 0. The next step can be, okay, dividing the whole equation by 2. So you will be getting negative exponential of negative 2t plus with 2 exponential of negative 2t, the whole thing, power 2. Okay, I am factorizing this particular part. Alright, so as you can see here, now you have common factor, which is exponential of negative 2t, exponential of negative 2t here. So, factorize the common factor, exponential of negative 2t. Let's see what are you getting. So here you will get negative 1 plus with 2 exponential of negative 2t equals to 0. Hence, solving this equation can be exponential of negative 2t equals to 0, and this option is rejected, okay, because we cannot have a ln of 0 in this case. Okay, so moving forward to the other option where you have negative 1 plus with 2 exponential of negative 2t equivalent to 0. We can write it as 2 exponential of negative 2t equivalent to 1, and hence exponential of negative 2t equals to 1 over 2. Alright, moving on to next. Adding ln to both sides, you will get ln of exponential of negative 2t equals to ln of 1 over 2, or it can be written as ln of 2 to the power of negative 1. So with this, ln and e can be cancelled off, and you are left with negative 2t equivalent to negative ln of 2, because as per logarithm law, we can bring the negative forward, so hence you're getting negative ln 2. Okay? With this, since both sides are having negative sign, so we can simplify and cut it off. So you're left with t equals to ln of 2 over 2, or you can even write your answer as 1 over 2 ln 2. Go to part B. You have to find the displacement of the particle when t is equals to 0. So this question is very simple, whereby all you need to do is when t is equivalent to 0, you just need to substitute the t value in your expression of displacement. Exponential of negative 2 times 2 minus exponential of negative 4 times 2, close bracket. Okay, so you will get 50 exponential of negative 4 minus exponential of negative 8. Okay, put all the values in calculator. You should be able to get your answer as 0.899. Okay, 3 significant figures. For part C, okay, you have to utilize what you have actually found in part A and part B, okay, to solve the questions. Alright, because from part A, we have seen that velocity equivalents to 0, and you have found that t is equivalent to 1 over 2 ln of 2. Okay, so the displacement of the particle from O when t is equivalent to 2 as 2 is giving you 0.899. Okay, so the total distance traveled during the first 2 seconds. Okay, that means from t equals to 0 to t equals to 2, how far it has traveled. Okay, we cannot actually say that, oh, the distance traveled is equivalent to S2, so it is 0.899, which is wrong. Okay, we have to consider something what we call turning point. Okay, so remember when we have an equation of S, okay, when we have an equation of S, when we put, okay, ds over dt equivalent to 0, this is when there is a turning point happen. Okay, turning point happen. It can be this object, okay, started its journey from O, okay, when t is equivalent to 0, and then it actually moved to the right or to the left, we're not sure, okay, probably to the right, and then at t equals to 1 over 2 ln 2, okay, it actually make a U-turn. Okay, so this is what I referred that, oh, there's the turning point, okay, happening when ds over dt equals to 0, which means that v is equivalent to 0. Hence, this info v equals to 0 also tell us that it is a turning point there that we have to consider. So the turning point that we have to consider is it happened, okay, it happened during t is equivalent to 1 over 2 ln 2. So what you're supposed to do now is you have to find the s value when t is equivalent to 1 over 2 ln of 2. Okay, let's substitute the value in the equation. So you have 50 exponential of negative 2 times with 1 over 2 ln 2. Okay, proceed with negative exponential of negative 4 1 over 2 ln 2. Okay, simplify your equation. So 50, here you will get this and this simplified. You will be able to get exponential of negative ln of 2 minus exponential of negative 2 ln of 2. Okay, in this case we cannot cancel the x. Normally when we have exponential of ln of x, in this case exponential and ln can be cancelled, and then you will get x. Okay, but here if you notice there's a negative sign here, there's a negative sign here. So what you need to do is you bring the negative up, okay, then you will get 50 exponential of ln 2 to the power of negative 1 minus exponential of ln 2 to the power of negative 2. Okay, so in this case, this and this can be simplified, and what you will get is 50 2 to the power of negative 1 is equivalent to 1 over 2 minus, okay, 2 to the power of negative 2, it will be equivalent to 1 over 4. Okay, hence the answer when t is equals to 1 over 2 ln 2 will give you 12.5. Okay, this actually tells us that this object, okay, this particular object, okay, it is moving from O, okay, towards the right hand side, okay, when t is equivalent to 1 over 2 ln 2, okay, it is actually reaching 12.5. And then here it makes a U-turn because this is when it happened, v equivalent to 0. Okay, it makes a U-turn, and then when t is equivalent to 2, okay, here at this part, okay, here at this part, when t is equivalent to 2, it actually move and reaches this point at 0.899. Okay, so this is when t is equals to 2. So to calculate the distance, how far it has traveled in this 2 seconds, okay, it will be taking the first part from here to here. Okay, so the distance traveled will be the first part 12.5, okay, plus with, after it makes a U-turn, okay, the distance from here to here, so distance number 1, distance number 2. So this is your distance number 1. Your distance number 2 can be found by 12.5 minus 0.899. Okay, so just put all the values in your calculator and you should be able to get your answer. Answer to be 24.1.